Hello everyone, I'm the EFC and this is Blue Lines TV. And today I'm bringing you guys the FA Cup match preview for our game tomorrow against Southampton. And you guys, you know what the deal is. Hit that like button, help me get more than 300 likes for this video. And you guys, don't forget this, especially if you are a new subscriber, hit the bell notification button to stay tuned to all things Blue Lines TV. Make sure you guys do that. And yeah, getting straight into the preview. Actually, no, before I start, one announcement, of course, rest in peace to Roy Bentley, passed away yesterday. If you guys don't know, I mean, you should know, he was our the first Chelsea captain to win the league with us in 1955. Great servant. I think he's the 5th all-time goal scorer for the club as well. And yeah, I mean, you know, he lived a very good life. I mean, he passed away in his 90s, and yeah, you know, God bless him. May he rest in peace. And you guys starting with the match preview now, and yeah, honestly, let's start with the lineup. Now, there's been a rumour surfacing. There hasn't been any links just yet, but they're talking about the fact that Zappacosta could potentially be starting in this game tomorrow on the left over Emerson. Now, for me, and I think a lot of you guys too, I think that would be the worst thing to do. Even though I'm saying this, I might sound a bit contradictory, but I think the last game that Zappacosta did play on the left, he was decent. It was one of his better performances for us in the Chelsea shirt. But I'm sorry, with Emerson, I can't imagine that to be the case. Even though I wouldn't be surprised if Conte did start with Zappacosta. The reason why I'm saying this is, you know, there's a reason for me that Emerson was subbed off before the game finished against Burnley, and I think that's why, you know, that happened in the first place, because Conte's thinking about using him against Southampton. I think if you have that natural width, it's best to use it. And obviously, seeing how the Burnley game ended as well, when we did use a 3-4-3, which I'm expecting us to use against Southampton tomorrow, I really think there's a real benefit of using Emerson on the left-hand side, especially where we can finally see him and Hazard playing together, which we still haven't really seen at all. And I think that's about time that happens. That will definitely spring a huge tactical surprise on Southampton as well. And other players who I think will be playing tomorrow, Fabregas, I don't think Bakayoko did enough to really secure his place with the team against Southampton tomorrow. I think Sess is going to start. I'm expecting, obviously, Christensen to come back as well. It was obvious with Cahill being out for that game. Rudiger to play on the left, Aspie on the right-hand side. And then Willian, Hazard and Morata to start the game as well. Conte's not going to go for any 3-4-1-2 formation. It doesn't make any sense. And how am I feeling about our chances tomorrow? Well, I am feeling pretty optimistic. And that's because I think Southampton personally have a bigger priority in staying in the Premier League. I don't think they're going to put too much... And of course they're going to try and win the game, but they're not necessarily going to care if they do lose, because their priority is Premier League survival. Of course, if they get relegated, that's not good enough for them. A lot of players on very high wages, they can't afford to go down into the Championship. And I think this is where we have the advantage. I think Conte, of course, has been taking this game very seriously. I'm sure he's been preparing his team for, you know, a while in advance. The reason I'm saying that, obviously, last game against Burnley, using a 3-4-1-2, he's only doing that just to make sure the team is ready for the game tomorrow. And I think we do have that advantage mentally. Now, with Southampton, it hasn't really helped them this season. So many managers haven't been good enough for them, really. And they definitely struggle from like a mental fatigue, you know. You can see the confidence just oozing from the team if you are targeting them effectively. And I think this is where we're going to get that advantage against them. Like I'm saying, 3-4-3 will be the formation. And I kind of think using this formation, having Emerson and Moses to try and stop their threat. And Southampton's main threat is on the left-hand side and from crosses. Now, left-hand side, we saw that when Zappa played on the right, of course. Bertrand, bomb pass, Azpilicueta got the first goal for them. I don't expect them to have that same type of joy tomorrow, not with Moses playing in this game. And I think on the left-hand side as well, I don't want to give them an advantage there. And this is why Emerson has to start for me. Personally, yeah, you guys, I'm feeling good for this game tomorrow. I know a lot of times I do get a bit too optimistic. Maybe I do get a bit too overconfident, but I'm really feeling that we've got the advantage against Southampton tactically tomorrow. Now, we kind of have an idea of how this game will play out. It's quite fortunate that we did play Southampton literally last week, so I think the game is literally going to continue down that same pace. I'm not expecting Southampton to spring any tactical surprises against us, not when their focus is on the Premier League. Of course, they drew their last game 0-0, which isn't good enough for, and for their chances to stay up in the league. And I just think that with how we're going to play, in terms of how we're going to utilise our wing-backs by them getting on the ball, having Cesc in midfield, I think when Bakayoko was playing against Burnley, yeah, he was solid, not spectacular, not taking his chance, not asserting himself on the game. When you compare someone like Cesc to Bakayoko, even though Cesc gets a lot of unfair criticism in my opinion, you do notice that this guy is an influence in midfield. He's calling for the ball. He's setting the plays up. You actually see his influence in the game. You see him on the ball. Bakayoko, too often he's just quiet. You don't really see him asserting himself at all. Not even physically, which is like the bare minimum you should be expecting from Bakayoko. And I do think the partnership between him and Conte is the best partnership out of all the midfield options for this season. Anytime I normally see Conte and Baka play, I normally see Conte doing a lot of Bakayoko's work, and that could possibly come down to Bakayoko not really being fully acclimatised to Conte's way of football just yet, in terms of the strict positioning. And I think when Cesc plays, that doesn't really happen, and I see Conte and Cesc play in equal parts, which is what you want to see from your midfield. Willian, is going to be good to see him fully rested as well. Eden Hazard, I'm expecting him to have a big game. Of course, he was rested. He's going to be fully fit for the game against Southampton. The amount of joy I'm expecting him to have, because Southampton aren't necessarily a defensive team. They do like to play out with the ball. And I do feel that that could really come against them. I feel that, personally, if I was a coach, a defensive approach is key for their chances tomorrow. I think that type of display where the most important thing for Southampton, of course, if they did win, that would be massive for them in terms of a confidence boost. But most likely they won't. They still want a good performance that's going to give them, you know what, we play very well against Chelsea in this game. We were unlucky like we have been in other knockout round styles of football. It's time, we can take this confidence into future games in the league. And I think that's what they're really going to be focusing on more. Yeah, that's really not too much to add, you guys, when it comes to doing this match preview. The reason why that's the case is because, we did play Southampton last week, and I kind of went into detail about how they play and how we can play against them. And I'm expecting the same things to keep on happening, really. I mean, I can speak about some other things, which I probably will do now. Conte, of course, he was speaking about wanting to, possibly follow the Arsene Wenger route in terms of having that type of sustainability at Chelsea, where he could really imprint his ideals at the club. I found that pretty funny. Of course, everyone knows Wenger will be leaving Arsenal at the end of this season. And you guys, a lot of people still ask me, why do I feel that Conte is definitely leaving? I think if you were to read his quotes in that conference yesterday, then I think it really gives you the answers, really. The way he was talking, he was basically saying, well, I'm not going to be here next season. I wish I had the chance to really have that type of, the type of, not patience, but I wish I could have that, be at the club for a long time and really imprint my philosophy on the club. And honestly, we know that's not going to be happening. And I think the main reason as to why Conte won't get the chance, it's not even because of how the season's going. It's because the club want a new direction. They want to play a different style of football. They want to play a more entertaining style. They want to start utilising more options from the academy into the team as well. And with Antonio Conte and his philosophy, the club just have a different ideal to that. They don't want what Conte does to teams anymore. And that's the main reason as to why he will be leaving. And I think it makes a lot of sense. Conte's right. Managers, when they are at a new job, they want to stay there for a while. I mean, it's easier for them, for their living conditions, their families as well. They don't ideally want to keep moving across the country anytime they have to manage a new club. But again, it's just come down to the point that the club wants new things, and Conte just isn't that guy really that they want to have taken them into a new direction. And that's just the reality that we need to accept. And I'm hoping people that keep telling me, why do I keep thinking Conte is going to be leaving, just accept that reality for themselves as well. And yeah, you guys, I think I'm going to start wrapping up this match preview for the FA Cup Southampton game. My score prediction, I'm going to be going for a 3-1 win. I think we're going to get goals. I think all of our players are really going to be up for this game tomorrow. All of them are going to be pretty fit as well. And yeah, I think that confidence of, obviously we've got more experience playing in these styles of games over Southampton. That's going to give us that mental edge to really, get the advantage over them. The goal scorers, I think Morata might get a goal at Wembley. I see Hazard scoring as well. And I see us scoring from a set piece for some reason. We've been getting some joy from set pieces as well. You guys in the comment section, let me know what you're thinking in regards to who do you think the lineup's going to be. Would you start Giroud or Morata? Me personally, I'd go for Morata in this game. Especially with the space at Wembley. I think that, I see possibilities where Morata will be able to run the channels. I think that'll be a good option to use as well. And I think the link-up play is pretty effective. But at the same time, if Giroud was to be played in this game, I think it could still work. But I personally feel if you do have Giroud playing, you need to play Emerson. This is why I don't want Zappa playing. Like I'm saying, rumours of Zappa starting in this game tomorrow. Imagine if you've got Giroud, okay, one, we don't have any pace. That means you have to make sure the service into him is going to be on point. Now, Zappa Costa on the left, where he has to cut inside to put a cross in, it's not going to happen. We want Emerson. We saw some of Emerson's delivery in the game against Burnley. A lot of nice whip. And you just know that synergy on the left-hand side with him and Hazard, the service into Giroud, that could work very nicely. I mean, Giroud's... he was decent against Burnley and he was very good against Southampton. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Giroud starting in this game. Conte might be thinking, well, I think that Giroud does have that psychological edge over Southampton this season. He scored 3 goals against them this year. Maybe it would be a good idea to take advantage of that form and start Giroud over Morata. As I said, I'd start Morata because, again, maybe for me... Actually, maybe I'm wrong, you guys. Yeah, I'm wrong. I think maybe personally it's best to start Giroud in this game tomorrow. As I was explaining, that mental edge could really be key in terms of, he's got that confidence against Southampton from scoring goals. Morata doesn't have that, especially that miss. Originally, I was thinking it's good to play him tomorrow because then you want him to get over that mistake he made, that massive miss he made against Burnley. But it is our only trophy we're fighting for this season. Morata will have other games he can play in. Giroud could be the best option to start with, but if we're starting him, please start Emerson. Don't do anything stupid. But I'm going to wrap up this match preview for tomorrow, you guys. I'm not going to be doing any live stream watch along because I'm going to be at the game tomorrow, but I'm going to come straight back home to do a match review, so stay tuned for that. And you guys, thank you for watching me. And you might be wondering, why am I doing a live stream? And that's because my footage corrupted earlier. And my camera's out of battery and it's going to take a while for it to charge. So I had to do a live stream. But I keep rambling on, you guys. I'm going to be going now. I'm the EFC. This is Blue Lines TV. Signing out.